Hello everybody, welcome to another Zabbix video. This time we are talking about multi-tenant environment. What if the business targets different countries all around the world, and different countries kind of use different time zone, and maybe the goal is to send email alerts during the business hours from 9 till 5. It creates a challenge, like how do I give users permissions to specify like a time frame, because the central Zabbix server already runs in a very specific time zone, and usually if we decide to generate a problem inside a very specific time range, then we need to hard code the times. We need to work with the clock which match the central Zabbix server's time zone, and it would be silly to ask the client to know where in which time zone the central Zabbix server runs, and ask them to take the calculator and just calculate what is the real time zone for the central Zabbix server. Okay, and this video will kind of show a proof of concept, like one way how we can approach this problem. Let's start by designing template, since we are targeting something behind, something inside the time frame. I would call time target, and defaults to Riga. Right now I'm inside the Riga time zone, and inside the macro I would call something like time, and maybe target from, and there is a syntax in Zabbix which is using 6-digit syntax. I can tell 9 a.m. 6 digits, 9 a.m. and I want to target the problem from till in a 24-hour format, from 9 till 5. This would be the range. So that's the beginning of the journey. We would use this as a time range add. Now, as a proof of concept trigger, I will create an input item, calculated item, which is generating number 1 every 1 second. It will be called input, and that's it. Now for the trigger, let's create the trigger and add that single item as an input. If that number is bigger than 0, it will generate the problem. In real life scenario, most likely this would be some sort of CPU trigger or memory trigger, but as a proof of concept, we are generating we are using that as an input to generate a problem. What else needs to be done? We use and we should tell more conditions. There is, if we open here and click on the keyboard T, it should eventually offer something which is related time. Yeah, this one, current time. And I will insert it right now like this and tell the first logic, and it is $time from. This would mean if it is 9 a.m. in the morning, then let's fire up a problem if this condition is true. And since we target also during the working hours, so I will add another and write time like this, and reverse the logic, and from till. So this would expand automatically from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. and job done for my particular time zone. Problem detected, something like that. It could be for testing, or it could be beneficial to use these macros also in the trigger this inside the event name. I will use problem detected like during time frame from, and I will put this, and there is like a regular substitution available, regular substitution, and inside the parentheses I can put like some grouping. First two letters, this is like an hour, then this will be like a minute, and this will be like a seconds, and then I can write comma and extract the group 1, colon, extract group 2, colon, extract group 3, and parentheses close, and curly parenthesis close. So time from and till, something like that. Let's put it over here and change this macro to the till. At this stage it would be interesting if it even works and how it works. Let's add this as a template so far, and now I will create an imaginary host which will run this template. Create target. Template will be target time target defaults to Riga, and host group disco, add, and add. I think that's it. By the way, since it's not the working hours right now while I'm recording this video, so I will change the rules a little bit. I will set like 23 from 9 till 23. And now visiting back the host level, it should kind of go into the problem state, and we see the problem has been generated. If we look the details, target is the host name, click problems. Here you go, like problem detected during the time frame, and it is printing my scope. So the challenge is like my central Zabbix server runs in the Latvia, and maybe I want to supply business in France, and I don't want to ask the guys from the France to remember the time zone in Latvia. That would be a little bit silly. And the way how we can approach is we can start to introduce some sort of offsets and add those offsets by default inside the template. To do so, opening the template, I will at first introduce the actual offset, and it will use like how much hours or minutes or something to add. By default it will be 0. It will default to the time zone of the Riga, and then like another one with a subtraction, and also defaults to 0. Now add, and inside the trigger all we need to do is add these extra logics, time like plus time, like what to add. By default it's adding nothing, adding 0, and then subtracting something in case we need to subtract. And this would be like very flexible mechanism to start to keep the same template for every client, no matter in which time zone they are located. But in case we need to like a little bit manipulate with the time zone, we will be able to reinstall these values, which is by default 0. And yeah, that would be the trick. So right now, last test I will maybe do is like show that the trigger is working fine. I will do here macro and set back to 9 till 5 update, and double check the problem goes away here over inside the problems page, and duration is 2 minutes, and it just resolved a few seconds ago. Now to highlight like what is actual time zone on my Zabbix server, if we use time date CTL, enter, my time zone is Riga, and right now my time is this one, 20:30. To show that this target works for the last time, data collection hosts, I will open like this guy and put it side by side, and we will target just a very particular minute. If we write date 2030, and I will like target 20 and like 31 till 20 and 32, like a single time frame, like a single minute. Let's double check again. So now it's running from 31 till 32 minutes. There is a time window, like the problem should kick in 7 seconds, and the problem should stay on for 1 minute at the best. Then it should kind of go away. Let's see the problems page. Click and click, and we see something got on board 15 seconds ago, and on the right side it's the central Zabbix server. If we check the date, after 30 seconds, the time frame will not match the time frame which is configured inside the trigger, and theoretically the problem should go away. And here we also see inside the title of the trigger that what kind of time frame we are actually targeting. Apply, so duration 33 seconds, obviously like after 7 seconds it should go away. And yeah, the time functions are evaluated only every 30 seconds, not all the time. So this looks quite a good start, and this time it's only applicable to the time zone of the Riga. So the solution would be introduce a wrapper template. We have one template right now which would hold like the general logic of all the CPU triggers, memory triggers, and everything for server monitoring, let's say. And then what we would actually use for the clients, we would use like target Paris, for example, and we would link this guy, which is like defaulting to the time zone where the central Zabbix server is running. And what we could do is like we would operate with these offsets. I will click this button, which is kind of iterating all the macros, and we see time add from subtraction. And according to the world time body, we see like the Paris is falling 1 hour behind the Riga. So that would mean we need to subtract 1 hour ago, and to subtract we will use this one, not the adding, and we would click here and add something like 1 together with 1, 2, 3, 4 digits, like zeros. So this is subtracting 1 hour back. Okay, add. And now let's change the scenario inside the host. So this is how I would use if the client is sitting in the Riga, but if the client is sitting in the Paris, then we would use the Paris template, which is kind of wrapping the overall logic inside update. So now we are running solution with a completely different offset. And now if we look on the clock on the Paris, it's not 20 and something anymore, it is 90:34. Let's see if the trigger is still able to respect the kind of the flexibility of the Paris time zone. To do so, data collection templates, we open the template Paris, and we can like target the time frame of our interest, which is not 20 but 1 hour ago. And so let's see what time is it right now on the central server. I will target like 90:35, which is already kicking in. Let's do that. Time from 90, and what was the 90 90:35:00, and here again 90:36 for a single minute. This minute is already running. Update, and in the 7.0 Zabbix, like the configuration update is like every 5 seconds or 10 seconds. We should still catch the problem even if the minute is almost going to the end. Let's see. The host object is here, going to the triggers. Not yet kicking in. I'm starting to worry. Triggers. Okay, triggers. So this is 90, 35, 36. It's already going there. Apply. Okay, I have failed. Let's see. Let's target the next minute. Date, which is 37. Click. From 37 till 38. Update. So I'm using the Paris syntax from 90. No, this is the correct one. So 90:37 till 38, and if we check the date, 37 will kick in 20 seconds. If we check the host object, check the trigger object, the logic is this: we are targeting the general time frame, and if I target that frame, that sounds more like we should add up. Maybe that is the main problem. I mixed these guys together. It's 19, and then it's subtracting 1 hour more. It feels like a mistake. And if we refresh the page, that is here, and yeah, there is no problem right now. Let's change the logic. We need to add 1 hour to match the Riga time. Here it says like we need to go 1 hour back, but if the user is specifying 19, then in real life we need to add 1 hour on the top of that. That is the problem. Target to Paris, add, and we would change this to add. And now what is the next target? To not fail 39. 39 will be our target window till 40. Update. Okay, now I should not fail so miserably. Let's see the host object. Click hosts, triggers. Nothing is happening, and the date is this. And eventually, after 10 seconds, we should have maybe a trigger in the problem state. And here it is. So what we just did, we were using the syntax, like the central server is running in the time zone of the Riga. We made the default template for the Riga, and then a wrapper template which kind of allows to operate in the time zone of the Paris, which is 19 something right now based on this guy. And we made it possible to operate with the native local time just because we are introducing this offset to adding some extra hours on the top of the existing time. And let's see, that problem should be gone by now. By now, if we check the host object and problem page, and we see Like now the problem title is this. If we would look the historical data, it would almost not make sense. Actually, since I unlinked the template, the historical data is gone. But yeah, the problem title targets the time zone of Paris, and the central server is actually running in completely different time zone. So that was the purpose, to prove the point. It is possible to kind of keep one central template here and create a lot of templates on the top of this template and introduce this like offset in order to satisfy like individual clients, which is in different time zones. If the rules are to always generate problems during the working hours, and the working hours can be different for each individual client, we can still like create this, like the topic is about maintenance cost. There is only single template which actually holds the item, like this very template. It will hold the item, the CPU item, memory on everything, and the actual trigger. And all those other templates, these templates are just to use. They are used to create this offset. Okay, that's everything for this video. If you like it if you find it helpful, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.